Okay, it's Monday, and it's a madhouse down here because I got so many different things going, from clock repair to God knows what else. But anyway, today I want to hopefully finish up the hat, which will finish up the carving of this piece. And then the next step after that will be burning the details. This old face has the details already burned in, but I'll show you on the other face. So let's go ahead and get ready here. Okay, first thing we did was to get the head ready, was to outline the head where it is on the thing. But before we do that, well, you can see where I made an adjustment underneath here to recenter the head a little better than it was before. So it's looking pretty good now. But I'm going to erase this as much as I can. Won't get it all, but I'll get most of it. Get it back on there. You can see that it doesn't fit right now, but we're going to correct that. And it's easier to correct this piece than it is to correct this piece for the curvature of the hat. And that's why you always want to leave a little extra wood in here. Let's just see here. It may not look like much, but there's quite a bit in there. So that's that thick in the center. Okay?
Good to see a thing because all that
couldn't.
stuff.
There you go. It's that thick in the center. And we're going to carve, as we're going to carve into the wood, it's going to get thinner. So that's why you leave more space, or thickness rather, in the center. So let's line him up, get it in the center there. Find me a good dark pencil, hopefully. There we go. That's what we're after. Now, find me a little gouge. As usual, my table's kind of messy. That'll be the one I need. And we start gouging it out here. Just following that line. We just go along the edge like that in the beginning. So let me do that, and then we'll come back once I get this all done. Okay, I've got my first initial cuts here. Now, you can see on this old head where I've already matched it up to one hat, but that hat went on another cowboy eventually. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is take my graphite pencil. You can find these down at Hobby Lobby. They really come in handy. And I'm going to color the top of the head. Now, had I not gouged that out, I would be coloring that whole area there, okay? And I also am going to cover the top of this ear right there. Not this one, because the hat doesn't come down to that far. So, with that in place, remember which hole I've got here. There's that one. There we go. So So there, I'm inside that gouged area. So now what I'm going to do is just real gently, just kind of press and rub a little. And take that off. And that's going to show me where it's hitting. See here? Right there's where it's hitting. So we'll take that out. This can be a long process or this can be a short process. Looks like it's bumping up right there. That's my ear. You want to keep it as close to the shape of that head as you can, because you don't want any of this. You want the head to go up in there without any excess showing outside the head. Now we're getting close. See there at the front of the hat? See how nicely it fits up in there? That dark line is the pencil line. Or this side here's looking pretty good. That side right there, see there's still a space there. Over here there's still a space here. The back looks real good. Backs always look good because they're easy to do. So we'll just keep on going. Sure if it's hitting up top there. Let me get rid of some of these pencil lines. Yeah, that shows up better. Like it's hitting right there. There it fits. Fits pretty good there, but I want to get it to where it fits better. So I'm pressing hard on this edge. Right there, see, it really showed up there. That's exactly what I want. Now you might think that, boy, it sure is taking a long time, where before when I carved those cowboy hats like everybody else does, you know, on the rough outs and stuff like that, where the ears are flopped down. That sure was a lot easier. That may well be. But this hat, when it's finished, is going to be 99.9% stronger than those hats. And it won't break. Yeah, that side looks great now. Check this side here. Now I'm going to press down hard on this side. And I think we'll just about have it. Use a bigger gouge here to even it out with the rest of the hat so it don't look so. Still on the lookout for a good show to replace the one in Dayton. And so far from what I've seen, it looks like that Wisconsin show that was just on here this past early September will be one of the main contenders. Just a little more over here. I'm trying to find out where that's rubbing. And that's right where I figured it was. Hmm? No, it's that piece of hair right there. I think that's it. I think we got a good one right there. Yeah, look. See there, now when we paint that, that head is just going to, or rather this brim is just going to fit that head perfectly. I want to look at this a little bit. It's a little fat right there compared to the other side, so I'm going to carve that down. Find my knife here. Everything just right before we go to the next step. Much better. Okay, now we're going to do the brim, or not the brim, we just finished the brim. We're going to do the crown, okay? So I got to go find me a piece of wood that will match the top of his head. So I'll be right back. Now normally I could go over to my cut-off bin, you know, scrap bin, and find a piece that I can make a hat brim out of. Not one that's where the grain's running up and down. Now if I had a smaller head like this here, now this would work perfect because I've got space around there all the way around to where I can make a real nice brim, and there's plenty of wood here to allow me to do that. Unfortunately, this head is way too large for this piece of wood. So scratch that. So I'm going to go with this nice piece of 92 basswood to make my hat brim. So it's going to be an expensive, not an expensive brim, but it ain't going to be a cheap one. So I'll cut it off about there. Set the head up on top. Draw a circle around there. Good enough. Right there like that. Now when I cut this, I'm going to cut outside that circle. Okay? So I'll go do that and be back here in just a second. Okay, here's the blank. I cut off the sides and a little off the front, but I've got lots of wood to play with. So we've got the makings of a hat crown here. So I'll set that aside, get my glove on. Get my finger guard on. And just start roughing it out. And again, I'm not going to show you this whole rough out process. That's just a waste of videotape. And we've got a long way to go on this segment, so we'll cut this short and I'll go ahead and rough this out. Okay, here's my crown. It's pretty well roughed out now. This is a high-crowned hat. I like high-crowned hats. That's what the old guys used to wear back in those days. I loved Roy Rogers, but I never cared for his hat. Just didn't care for that style of hat. I didn't care for Gene Autry that much, but he had a great looking hat. So anyway, what we have to do now, I went and I colored this little nub of the dowel sticking up there. And normally I put this on there and then draw a circle around like I did the head, but we're going to try it this way and see how it looks. So we find the front of the hat and we kind of match it up with the head. About right there. Turn it around here and look at this side, and even move it over just a little. And that'll show me where to drill the hole. And we just hit about the center right there. So now I got to find my drill. Just start drilling over here. Clock's still working. I'll drill me a hole in here. Aim it out a bit. Get my pencil. Go get you one of these pencils. Like I say, they really come in handy when you buy one that's going to last you a lifetime. It doesn't cost that much. Now take this off, push this up a little. Put this back on. Put that on. Check all my measurements. Looking good. And we begin the process on the hat. Get that thing out of there. Find me a fairly flat gouge here. I don't like that. I don't like that. Go back to the old fallback, this palm gouge, one of the best gouges they make, anybody makes. And they're not very expensive at all. thing that's going to help you out is find the center of your hat. Make a mark, matching mark. That's going to help you. And this is going to take a while. Like I say, that was thick wood there, so we have to get her down. So I'm going to continue doing this until we get her down to a nice level area, and then we'll come back and go to the next step, okay? Okay, getting down there. So let's just see what we got here. We're just about at the end of this. Just real lightly shave off the pencil lines here. Well, there you go. There's a nice fit all the way around. Okay, so that's done. So now all I have to do is get my gouges again somewhere. And match the hat up. With the rest of the brim. Save that front area. I think I can do that with my knife. Do most of it with my knife. Still need to take a little off there. And the same back here. got her. So let's just do a test fit here. See what it looks like. I think I got it in the wrong hole. Oh yeah. Okay. So with the gouge, I can take off, staying away from the edge. Scratch off most of that pencil. And that'll give me a nice clean area to glue. And also help the hat to set down there a lot better. Okay, so what do we do now? Well, we get a real narrow gouge somewhere. Where are you? We'll come right in here on the center of the hat. That. Then we get another gouge that's not so deep, about like that. Now we're going to give it a hat band. a little thinner than that one, so I've got to fix that.
The what?
This is thin over here right there. There we go. Nice. Okay, now next step is to put this on the disc permanently. And I'll show you the easy way to do that. Get rid of my tools here. Clock's still working. I bought this old clock over in the Soviet Union years, oh God, 30 some years ago. Show them a picture of that clock back here. And it just stopped working. One of the main springs busted, so I sent it down to a repair shop to fix. It cost me $189. I paid $14 for the clock. Isn't that the way things work out? Anyway. Got it back home. I couldn't get that thing to operate right. It has to be just perfectly set or it don't work. So that's what I'm doing now, is finding the sweet spot on the pendulum. I think I've found it. Okay, here I want to show you this stuff here. Let me get a new one. You used to be able to buy this down at the Lowe's or Home Depot, but for some reason they stopped carrying it. Why? I have no idea. I guess it didn't sell. But anyway, I love it. It's a epoxy gel, and it doesn't run like, you know, this other type of epoxy over here. Nothing wrong with this, but it does. That stuff runs. This stuff doesn't. You can find this on Amazon. Just look for Loctite epoxy gel. And I think it costs $5 or $6, something like that. But boy, it sure is handy. So that's what I'm going to use here. Freeze me out some. Come on. And another thing it's good for is it's very forgiving. You know, it's supposed to be 50-50. Well, you can see right there, that's not 50-50, but it'll work. It just takes longer to set up. And the secret of this stuff is to just put just enough on underneath there to where you don't get any squeeze out. Not that it, you know, it's hard to fix if you get some squeeze out, but it's easier to fix if there ain't none at all. So you can see it's really thick stuff. It's not runny. So, take that out. And it's extremely strong, so I'm going to just put a little bit there in the center. Put my stick back in there again. Push that down. Match up my line of wood, don't have any squeeze out. Looking good. I generally just set it right back on the head. Let's see, I'll get it in the wrong hole. God damn it. One thing I hate is getting that stuff on your hands. What is going on here? Well, it'll have to make me some corrections here after things set up. Just have to wobble my hole a little. See, this is stuff they don't show you in those seminars. But I'd rather show you what really goes on than what goes on in make-believe land. We all have problems. Yeah, that corrected a lot of it. Okay. So we'll just squeeze her back together again and put her on there and just wait till she sets up. Make sure everything is just right. Until next time when we start burning this thing, it made it through the process and it's not going to end up in the wood stove. So we're going to go to the next step. So until then, I'll talk to you later.